Y'all, listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is hotter than Atlanta asphalt in August. This is not a rumor, not speculation, not somebody's cousin reporting something from the Shade Room comments. No. This is real. This is court document real. And today, we're opening it. Kandi Burruss has filed for divorce from Todd Tucker. Let that sit for a moment. Take a breath. Take a seat. Take a sip of whatever's nearby. Because once we go inside these documents, your eyebrows are not coming back down. And before I jump into page 1, I need you to hold one question in your mind. Who do you think is gonna end up paying child support? Don't answer yet. Trust me, once we finish part 1, you might change your mind completely. Alright. Let's get into it. So first of all, let me tell you how wild it is that these papers were almost impossible to find. If Kandi hadn't admitted publicly that she filed, we would have been sitting here looking like clowns trying to search the wrong names in the system. Because the way she filed, listen, the stealth level was Olympic. She didn't file as Kandi Burruss Tucker. Oh no. She filed as K. Lennis Tucker. Her first initial. Her first name. Her middle name. And the last name, Tucker. Not the name the general public knows. Not the name fans search. This was deliberate. And Todd. His listing is even more secretive. She filed him under his first initial only. If you ask me, that was strategy. That was chess. That was, let me handle my business quietly before the internet loses its mind. And baby, we are losing it. Now let's open the file. It starts simple enough. The first page establishes location, Fulton County, Georgia. Kandi has lived there long enough to file. Todd is also a resident, so the court has full jurisdiction. Fine. Basic legal stuff. But then I turned the page. And that's where the plot twist slapped me in the face. The divorce petition states, and I quote, the parties separated on or about July 15, 2025. Excuse me? July 15th. Do y'all remember July? Because I do. Do y'all remember all the pictures of them together after July? Because I do. Do y'all remember seeing them at events? The smiles? The family gatherings? The movie promotions? The kids' school activities? Instagram was giving happy home. Real life was giving, we haven't lived together since midsummer. That is wild. Because they fooled everybody. They weren't just coexisting, they were co-appearing. Publicly united. Privately divided. And honestly, when you think about how long they've been in the spotlight, maybe they felt like it wasn't time to tell the world yet. Maybe they were hoping things would turn around. Maybe they were trying to protect the kids. But the documents? They don't lie. According to the filing, since July 15th, they have been living separate lives. Now here's where things get interesting. The documents confirm they share 2 minor children, and the kids lived with both parents from birth up until the separation. After the split, the kids have been under what the document calls joint control. Meaning, no official custody arrangement was in place, Kandi and Todd were just figuring it out themselves. Translation? They were co-parenting without lawyers, without court orders, without drama. At least at first. Then Kandi writes something surprising. Something honestly mature. She says she believes it is in the best interest of the children for her and Todd to have joint physical custody. And also joint legal custody. Meaning, she's not trying to take the kids from him. She's not demanding sole authority. She's not pulling in, I'm the mom, I get everything, the move. She's basically saying, we've always raised these kids together. Let's keep doing that. And I'm gonna be real, that sounds responsible. That sounds calm. That sounds like someone who wants structure, not revenge. Now flip the page again, and here comes another twist. Kandi states the marriage is irretrievably broken. In Georgia divorce language, that means, this isn't a temporary break. We're not fixing it. We're not reconciling. We're done. No hope. No possibility. No coming back. That's final. Then, boom, here comes the prenup. The document states that she and Todd signed a legally binding prenuptial agreement before marriage. And Kandi is asking the court to enforce it exactly as written. Now, if you've been following them for years, you already know that prenup was controversial from day one. If you remember the episodes, the arguments, the conversations, you know it was not smooth sailing. And if you really remember, there were rumors that the signing happened literally right before the wedding. Now I'm not saying anyone was pressured. I'm just saying that in divorce world, a prenup signed under stress can sometimes get challenged. Will Todd challenge it? We don't know. Will he accept it? We don't know. But the door is open. Now let's talk about the moment everybody's waiting for. Child support. What does Kandi want? Here's the gag. She doesn't ask for any. Not $1. Not a check. Not a monthly payment. She tells the court, let the court determine child support for both parties. That's unusual. Because most people file with a specific request. She didn't. She left it open. But who would likely pay? Let's do the math. Kandi makes more money. Kandi travels more. Kandi is booked and busy. And Todd. From what we see online, he's been doing school drop-offs, pickups, daily routines. Normally, and I'm saying normally, the more financially stable, frequently traveling parent ends up paying. Would Todd accept child support if the court awards it? Maybe. Would he decline it? Maybe. We honestly don't know what direction he'll go. But my early prediction? It's probably Kandi. And maybe she knows that, which is why she didn't ask for anything specific. Now listen, we're not done. Because here's the wild part, even though these two separated on July 15th, their social media posts tell a very different story. And in part 2, we're going to dive into all the posts, the date nights, the promotions, the family events that happened after the separation. The timeline does not timeline. Something happened. Something shifted. Something at that July 15th birthday party changed everything. Before we continue, I need y'all to do one thing, clear your mind. Because the second half of this story? It gets messy. It gets confusing. It gets emotional. It gets human. See, court documents give you facts. But social media? Social media exposes the gaps between public image and private reality. Let's go back. According to the divorce papers, Kandi and Todd separated on July 15th, 2025. Mark that date in your mind. Circle it. Highlight it. Put a neon border around it. Because everything that follows makes that date feel like the biggest plot twist of the year. So naturally, I did what any responsible investigator of celebrity timelines would do. I scrolled. And scrolled. And scrolled. I went through Kandi's entire Instagram from July onward. And baby, the story it tells is not the story the documents tell. Let's begin. Because remember, on July 15th, the documents say they split. But on July 15th, something else happened. Something big. Something public. Something that involved a lot of celebrities. Tiny's 50th birthday party. There they were. Kandi and Todd. Together. Smiling. Celebrating. No tension. No distance. No awkwardness. If you look at those pictures, and then look at the separation date, you have to ask one question. What happened that night? Was that really the end? The breaking point? The moment everything snapped? Because filing, separation date, July 15th isn't random. It's deliberate. It's symbolic. It usually marks the moment something irreversible happened. But here's where it gets even more puzzling. After that date, after July 15th, the posts keep coming. Family pictures. School events. Kids' activities. Shared appearances. Promotions for each other's work. And then the one that truly shocked me. September 19th. Kandi posts about Todd's movie, Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta. She promotes it proudly. Publicly. Energetically. That doesn't look like a woman fully done. That doesn't look like someone who already decided the marriage was over. That looks like someone hoping things might still work out. Someone maintaining unity, at least in public. And then there's October 8th. Another family moment. Another appearance together with the kids. Another example of functioning co-parenting, or emotional cooperation, or maybe, hope. But then I saw something that sent me sideways. A picture, not work-related, not kid-related, that looks a whole lot like a date night. Just Kandi and Todd. Dressed up. Out together. Smiles. Chemistry. Connection. If you didn't know the court documents existed, you'd swear they were still very much in a relationship. Because nothing about that picture says, we're separated. Nothing about that picture suggests we're done. Nothing about that picture hints at the divorce is coming. But here's where things shift again. If you scroll a little further down Kandi's page, you land on a very interesting post. A very emotional post. One made after the separation, but before the divorce filing. August 4th, Todd's birthday. Kandi writes, "This is your year. Your winning season. Praying that everything you've been working so hard for comes to life. Everyone give Todd some birthday love. I love you." Now pause. This is not a neutral birthday message for someone you're done with. This is not a cold, courteous, happy birthday, enjoy your day. No. This is warm. Supportive. Hopeful. Loving. And it raises the question. Was Kandi hoping for reconciliation? Did she wait from July to November silently praying the marriage could be saved? Did she file only after realizing Todd wasn't coming back? Because the timeline suddenly feels tragic. It feels like someone holding on while the other person was slipping away. Now, let's talk about the elephant tap dancing in the middle of the courtroom. Money. Because while love might have been complicated, the finances were not. Kandi is a powerhouse. Kandi is a brand. Kandi is booked, busy, blessed, and paid. Todd works hard too, absolutely, but the scale isn't even. And in custody cases, financial stability plays a massive role. When one parent travels constantly, has touring commitments, business meetings, production deadlines, and the other parent is more present for school pickups, drop-offs as daily routines. The court notices. And this brings us back to what I asked in part 1. Who is likely to pay child support? Let's break it down. Kandi has the higher income. Kandi is more often away for work. Todd appears to be more present day to day. Kandi did not request child support from Todd. Kandi left the decision entirely to the court. That usually means one thing. If the court grants joint custody but determines Todd handles more daily care, Kandi might be the one ordered to pay. Now Todd could decline. He could say, "I don't want it." He could say, "We'll handle it privately." But legally? It's on the table. And Kandi knows that. Which is likely why her petition doesn't fight it. But here's something nobody is talking about. Why did Kandi file so quietly? No grand announcement. No drawn-out PR statement. No explosive reveal. Just a quiet, strategic filing. To me, that says, this wasn't a scandal. This wasn't betrayal. This wasn't chaos. This was two people growing apart slowly, silently, privately, until there was no path back. And maybe, just maybe, they were trying to protect each other. Because despite everything, despite the timeline confusion, despite the emotional mixed signals, despite the slow fade, one thing is clear. They still showed up for their kids. They still supported each other's work. They still moved with dignity. That doesn't look like hate. That looks like love, the kind that exists even after the relationship dies. Now here's the final twist. While everyone is wondering who will pay child support, while everyone is guessing who will get more time with the kids, while everyone is decoding Instagram posts, the truth is actually simple. This divorce is not about punishment. It's not about winning. It's not about money. It's not about clout. It looks like it's about peace. Two adults choosing to move forward separately while still building a life for their kids together. And honestly, that's rare. So whatever happens next, the prenup, the custody ruling, the child support decision, one thing is clear. This isn't the end of Kandi and Todd as a family. It's simply the end of them as a couple. And that might be the real plot twist.